It doesn't matter.
We were just talking so much smack.
Adam's
on
not
it.
even fucking here. What's the
on
point?
Adam, because he's not here. Ugh. Now Hagen's gonna go check and make sure the door's unlocked. Can you hear us now? Okay, good. Ow! I cut my fingernails too short, and now it hurts to use my pointer finger. Hurts.
We're just gonna go.
Yeah, of course. He's probably at the post office.
He's probably at the poop office.
The poop office.
I
shouldn't laugh that much.
I don't think
at
you
that.
should laugh at that.
That's funny.
Oh man. Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave. We'll fix it in post. If he shows up, just like you should do your best Adam impression.
Oh, we should just both try.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah,
Okay,
but you got to do the intro again. Do you want to go first? You go first.
Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave.
Adam.
That's pretty good,
Thank
dude.
you. Thank you.
Okay, do it again.
All right. Morning. Welcome to Don't Be the Artist. I'm Hagen.
I'm Dave. I'm Adam.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, I don't think this is that mean because he's not. I mean, he's. We thought he was gonna be here.
Holy moly, that tastes good.
Does it?
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's crazy. Man, I feel like I like we were saying earlier. I really hope he just doesn't show up.
Like, so funny.
I'm just gonna mute his mic.
Yeah.
Just so there's not more going on over there. More goings-ons over there. It's been a couple weeks. How you been?
Yeah, busy but good, man.
Good.
How about yourself?
Yeah.
Adam? Okay. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah. Man, I played 2 great gigs last weekend. One in Norman, Oklahoma, which we played the set and then it started to like storm. We were like under a tornado watch, and it was not a big deal. It's a tornado watch.
You guys were indoors though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, still bad, but
I mean, it was mostly funny to see everybody go like, "Oh, I'm going to take pictures of the lightning," and I'm like, "You guys live in Tornado Alley. What do we like? What do you mean? What's so exciting about more tornadoes?" But yeah, it was great.
there he is. Yes.
I'll unmute your microphone.
It's because he had to get that shirt. That's why his shirt says "College for all, Medicare for all,
You think
jobs
I
for
just
all,
bought this shirt
justice
just
for
now?
all."
I
don't know.
That's where he was. Adam,
I've
is that
never
where you were?
seen that shirt before.
That's a good point.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If we've never seen it before, he
Yeah.
just
He
got
just
it.
got it. That's what I assume. Because everyone's seen every shirt that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that. No, I hit every single red light and every pedestrian crossing.
I think it's just going to stop at pedestrian. And every pedestrian.
As someone who is pro pedestrian, I like that there are people walking around,
Yeah.
but I did not expect that. And that added like 6 whole minutes that I just saw counting up, and I'm like, cool.
That means you should leave more than 5 minutes before we start.
I should.
Is that going to happen?
Maybe. I don't know if I can commit to that.
Do you want us to go back to the intro so you can have your we did our
both
best
took
Adam
a shot
impression.
at doing our impression of you.
Oh yeah, and what
So now
have I been doing?
Make him do an impression of us.
You gonna
You do the
that?
whole intro.
You gonna do that?
I don't know what the intro is.
That's such a load of shit.
He hits the button. Good morning. Welcome to Don't Feed the
Morning. Are you
morning?
fucking kidding me? Jesus
My
Christ.
God.
Do you know what the intro is?
Oh my God.
Hey,
I just kind of shut my brain off at the intro.
Just imagine how bad this would be if it was just us.
You notice he stopped joking that we could do the show without him?
Yeah, whatever.
Because we would hit the green button. I don't know if that's right, but hit that one.
This one?
The green one.
Which
Oh,
green?
sorry, the middle green one. Yeah, it's not. That's what I would have picked if I was over there. And then
Hold on.
Dave would say, "Good morning."
Yeah, exactly. That top button is yellow.
Yeah, it is.
These are both a kind of green.
It's a yellow green, but
This
it's
is-
mostly
yeah,
yellow.
oh, sure, whatever. You guys can't see what we're talking about. It's
No,
not.
no,
We're not going to argue
To
colors.
be fair, actually, I shouldn't have said green. There's like 7 green buttons down on the bottom too that are smaller. I don't know
Sure.
what they do.
Oh,
But
these ones? Yeah, I could have just pressed this one. Now you guys try to talk.
yeah,
Hello.
that's great.
What?
I soloed you guys. I soloed mine. So you
Oh, it sounded the
didn't-
same on my
Yeah, it sounded the
headphones.
same to me too.
weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if it sounded the same to everybody else.
Wait, did it just solo on yours?
I don't think it's supposed to do that, but maybe
Like solo
it does.
you on yours?
I mean, it definitely soloed me on mine. You guys aren't coming through if you
Okay,
talk.
now do it to my button.
Okay.
Do it to my thing.
Now you can't hear
Yeah.
me, can you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we
What?
can.
Something's not, and Heather in the chat said it sounded the same.
That's weird. It shouldn't.
Fix your shit, bro.
This is what would happen if we were running the show, though.
Anyway, Morden, welcome to Don't Feed the Artist.
Hit a wrong button.
Fix your shit. You got it. Go ahead. You got it.
That's what we're talking about.
We'd hit a wrong button, and you'd say good morning, and then it would all fall down from there. I'm Hagen.
I have
and
like
this-
my
and
number
this is
one
Adam.
critic in the fucking chat over here, which is Heather, and then you're like, no, fix your shit.
Sorry. She's not your number one critic. Okay.
Are you?
I don't know who is. I'd say your wife is.
No, she doesn't care.
Crispity in the chat.
thought
Yo,
that's
guys. Val Kilmer died.
Yeah, that did happen today.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it happened
It
yesterday.
happened,
but-
happened last night.
yeah, that is
Come on.
sad.
Keep up with your former Batman news.
Sorry. I did correct myself.
No, I just figured you like DC, so you,
Yeah,
you know
I don't
him,
care
you
about-
know him as Batman.
I don't care about
probably.
those movies so much.
That
though.
he was only in one movie.
I'm saying like that
Yeah,
era
yeah,
of
that's fair.
Batman
That's
movies.
I feel like Michael Keaton is canon Batman in a lot of people's
I
heads.
say George Clooney
That's so,
it's so
that's
funny.
the weirdest one out
because
of
it's so
that
funny.
whole
Yeah,
group.
because who doesn't want bat nipples?
That's a good point.
Am I wrong? You gonna sit here and tell me that I'm wrong?
Everybody didn't because the movie bombed. People were very concerned when they saw that movie.
You know, we learn something over time. We learn
Now it would do great.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Now it would do so good. This
And
is very
instead,
true.
we're going to get one Batman movie every 9 years.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it.
I'm
I'll take
okay
it.
with that.
I mean, this last one was good. So
It was.
You know, this I'll use that as an alley oop into getting us into a topic today, which is
I'm wanting to see which one it goes to because if it's the first one, I don't know how you
it's
got
not
there.
that one.
Okay.
Which is we've discussed this before. It's been a long time, but this was officially like announced with the cast, and that is the Beatles verse. Fuck off. No more of this.
This is a Sony thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Sony had their big event this last week, and it has been announced that there will be 4 biopics for each member of the Beatles, I guess.
Yeah, they had announced this before.
Yes.
Like they signed Sam Mendes to write and direct it, and they're like, it's going to be 4 movies about the Beatles, and that was all they said. Everybody thought it's like you're going to release a movie a year about each Beatle. Okay, maybe.
Now, that's
But-
where the
but
interesting
nope.
thing is that it will be all released in April of what year? 26?
27,
27?
28,
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. So all 4 will be released in the month of April of
Like,
2027.
Each weekend is a different Beatle.
2028. You're right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And we have the cast. We have Harris Dickinson, who will play John Lennon, Paul Mescal, who will play Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan, who will play Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn will play George Harrison in the Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event.
The Joseph Quinn one doesn't add up to me at all in terms of looks.
I feel like most of them don't, honestly.
Barry Keoghan, whatever his name is.
Keegan, yeah.
Keegan,
He
he looks
could-
like Ringo.
He could pull it off, and
Yeah.
he's a good enough actor. I mean, they're all. I don't know enough of their acting for most of them.
Sure.
They're all good enough; they can probably pull it off. He especially though is like he can pull off whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Mescal was in Gladiator 2, right?
Yeah. Yes, he was.
That movie
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
It was not a good movie.
Could have warned you about that from the title.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't really thinking about that one being a good movie or not. I don't think it was made to be. I think it was meant to be. Gladiator.
Yeah, right.
I mean, listen, the cast is fine. I think a lot of these actors are supposedly all really good. I know Barry Keoghan's good. I know Joseph Quinn is good. Joseph Quinn is having a big year, a big time. Fantastic Four, and then this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got a lot going on.
I couldn't place why I knew his name. So.
Yeah. And so there's a lot going on for him. It's awesome, super cool. But I don't know if we need all the Beatles verse, the cinematic event of the Beatles. I'm obviously not the target audience for this too, which is the other side of it. This is not made for me. But boy, oh boy, everyone's gonna go see this.
You watched a 4-hour Beatles documentary.
for this
Yeah,
show.
for the
You're-
show.
We're gonna go see these 4 movies
Fuck!
for the show.
I'm watching every minute of these movies.
See,
And I hope they're really good.
I just don't. I also just like on.
I mean, Sam Mendes is really talented as a director.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you write this to be interesting. Because you're either going to do like
Right.
from their point of view, and you're going to run out of like by the 4th one, you're going to be like, I'm seeing the same movie that I've seen 3 times.
Yeah.
Or they're going to cover different things, and that's kind of weird too.
Yeah.
But I mean, visually, I expect them to be good. But I think my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory is that this is basically just marketing to sell like more Beatles streams
Yeah.
and Beatles merch because Sony owns the publishing rights to the Beatles.
I honestly,
It's like an expensive marketing stunt.
Right.
I just don't know. I just don't know why. Like, I think that you're closer to why we need this is it's just to make money.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
can't.
it's definitely just to make money, but
Yes.
it's like, what's the reason? What are you going to make
Yeah.
money on the movies because they're good and people want to go see them, or is
Yeah.
it because people are going to be like, oh, the Beatles, I'm going to go listen on Spotify?
Yeah, and I don't like most music biopics either. So I think that's
Yeah.
the other thing is I think that most of them are way too romantic. Like they romanticize the whole. It's a movie, of course it is, but like it's just like I just it's hard for me to believe that like you're actually trying to sell me that this is how someone's life went.
Right.
And yes, I know I understand that it's a movie, but like you gotta like give me a little bit. And hopefully I think Sam Mendes hopefully could understand and do a good job of going. I'm going to show you like the dark side
Yeah.
of their
But
life.
I mean, apparently
Is he
it was
writing?
He's writing too.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Apparently, it was his idea, and he went to Sony and he asked if they would do it because they have the publishing rights, so it'd be easier to do the music stuff, right? So they can sign off on any music they want to have included in it. Obviously, that'll be fine. I don't know how he convinced Sony to like spend $450 million on doing this
That's crazy.
because each movie is going to be $100 million, and that's with them shooting them all together.
Yeah.
I like Heather's comment. She said it'd be funny if no one went to the George Harrison one.
I hope no one goes to the Ringo one.
I mean, it probably is going to be the last one that comes out,
yeah. I hope no
unless
one,
they go the opposite order and they start with his.
True.
And then nobody goes to see the other ones either because then they saw that one first.
It could be a really cool concept, just like on the surface level of thinking about how they could do it, like the movie leading up to how like their first concert, or leading up to how they all met each other, and each person's movie ends when they meet another Beatles member.
Oh, that just sounds so boring.
But there's
And then-
some
and then-
no
and then
come
in
on.
the credits it says the Beatles will return,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like James Bond.
It's the
which he did. He did a James Bond movie actually. That might be why
He did,
Sony
like,
got
two, right?
involved.
Yeah, I think he did
that.
two.
Actually, that might
Yeah.
have been the deal. Is that if I'll do another Bond movie even though I don't want to because you want me to if you do this dumb Beatles thing. I say dumb. This might turn out great, and we'll look back on this clip and be like, "Wow, we were."
No, I'm going to look at it
underestimated, but-
optimistically.
I think that the biggest concern is what is like how can they retell the story that many different ways and like
And in the same month.
how like you can watch movies and TV shows that are like here's this story from a different perspective and it all comes to one place together, but you have to watch 4 movies to get there if that's the case on this one, and that's going to be like it's hard to connect all of that. Whereas if it was like here's a Beatles movie, here's a quarter of it that's focused on Paul McCartney, let's switch over to John Lennon, and then it all culminates into the first concert or like them meeting each other, whatever it is, right? But if it's all 4 movies and we have to then go like, well, this happened here, now I only pull my fucking drawstring over this direction and my yarn and okay, cool, I've got this one now. Okay, connect this one this way. It's just like yeah.
Well, that and then I still don't get how you do this over like 4 movies without it getting repetitive, but also in the same month.
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
think
another like confusing part to me.
yeah.
Which
But I will,
what was the Western that like got half made recently?
half
What's
made.
the guy? I'm blanking on his
Was
name
it
now.
Tarantino?
No, the guy from the lead actor from Yellowstone. That's a bad way to refer to him, but he quit Yellowstone because of wanting to do this movie.
okay.
What the fuck's his name?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't
We
seen
would all go.
Yellowstone.
We would all see it immediately and go like,
okay,
I know
sure,
who that is.
yeah.
But it's he was trying to do a 4 movie like thing, and they were going to spread it out over like 3 or 4 months, and that didn't work. They got through 2 of the movies, and then the studio was like, "No, we're not doing this. It's not making money." Like nobody wants to go watch like episodes of a thing in a theater that's not Star Wars, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go see it in theater unless we decide to do it for the show.
Well,
But, like,
that'll be the only way to see them all at the same time when they come out because they're all going to come out in April in theaters. So
but I mean, like,
you're going to watch them later, and that's different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But movies make all their money in the theater, more or less.
Yeah.
So
Horizon,
it's
an
strange-
American
yes,
saga.
That, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I say all this, and I mean, like, the coming out like back to back thing. I think that is a weird choice, but I mean, people walked out of Wicked and they were like, "There's another fucking part. I have to wait a year for this shit. Are you kidding me?"
That's true. Wicked probably could have got away with like, hey, in 100 days the part 2 is out.
Yeah, so it's like there definitely are pros and cons to the whole thing. I am curious to see honestly how far this goes. I think it goes past the 4 movies. I think that we get.
I think that has to be the end. Is
at least a 5th movie.
I
just called The Beatles, and
Yeah.
it comes out in May or June or something.
Exactly.
yeah. I think this goes past that even. I think that this becomes like
Just a movie for every
Beatles,
album.
the Beatles verse. I think that that's what we're going to have movies
verse.
that is the Beatles verse.
Well, it is Sony.
But no
Sony,
Pete Best. The original drummer is completely left out. And
Yeah.
he's
No,
like, damn it, what the hell?
They'll put a mini little webisode thing like they used to put on YouTube back in the day.
yeah.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
here's a 2-minute short about him.
Yeah.
It is Sony, so it wouldn't shock me if they do the Spider-Man thing of let's just make a dozen movies about this because they have a history and a track record proving.
Nah.
If they do well, they're going to definitely do
well,
more.
the Spider-Man movies didn't do well; they just did it anyway.
Sony
so.
does a mostly bad job of those kinds of things. Like
They're probably the only movie studio still funded and fueled by cocaine only. Just bad decisions and handshake deals where somebody's like, that sounds awesome, man.
yeah. I mean
Let's do 4 Beatles movies. They can all come out the same day.
you mentioned like the Spider-Man stuff. The Spider-Verse movies are the ones that they've been doing well.
The animated ones, yeah.
the animated ones. They've been doing those really well.
Except they said part 3 was going to come out in 2024 and now it's 2029
It's
or something.
2027. Yeah,
27,
But yeah, they were supposed to. Whatever the last one came out, which was 23. The following one, the last piece of the trilogy, was supposed to come out the following year, and now it got pushed back all the way to 2027.
I don't know how you mess that up.
Yeah. So
Unless you just made a different movie.
they're definitely not doing everything great. But regardless,
But those have been good. So.
those have been good. But then they try to do all those extra Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Those were not. I'm talking about the villain ones, the ones
Yeah.
that are those are bad. Those are very. It was awesome the day that it was Craven, the last one came out, and the next day they were like, Sony is announcing closing this studio that's working on all these Spider-Man villain movies. I'm like, yeah. Wow.
Wonder why.
Least surprised about that one. I hope these are good movies. It's just not made for me. That's the only side of it. But regardless, similar to this, we talked about this a while ago. We have Napster. Napster's back, and we talked about this whenever this happened initially. They found new owners and became a new kind of company that was focused on different kinds of. I think they were originally focused on doing AI stuff too.
Something like that, yeah.
But they just were. They have new owners again. The $200 million acquisition. And there's been sold to Infinite Reality, which is a tech company that definitely focuses a lot in AI. And so Napster also was doing streaming service. You can go pay for Napster streaming service to listen to music right now. Now again, this is a totally
7
different
subscribers.
This is a totally different company than Napster was originally. There's no connection to what it was in the past.
Yeah, it's the name.
It's just the name.
Which has a lot of value for people our age.
Exactly.
I assume. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what is the benefit to this company buying a company like Napster to for what in music? Is it literally just AI? I think it's just for AI because this is an insane amount of money to buy a company. Well, I guess not an insane amount of money. It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's a fuck ton of money.
We're talking about companies.
Yeah.
We're talking, that's not an insane amount of money for a company.
And that money hasn't exchanged hands.
Sure.
It'll
yeah.
be in investments and
In
lump sum
stock and
payments
stuff,
and
yeah,
stock
right.
and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is weird looking at their history where they were acquired by a VR company and then a cryptocurrency company and then now this AI thing. It's I hate it, but good on those and those people at the executives there who are just we can just bullshit about anything
Just
and
go.
keep the grift going.
Somehow.
Yeah. Next, it'll be acquired by an NFT company.
No, that's already done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry about your NFTs.
Shit. Yeah, it is very strange, and I'm very curious to see what companies continue to do with things like Napster. And I mean, some of the statements are saying Napster revolutionized digital music in the '90s, and now with Infinite Reality, we're ready to do it again. I'm like, okay.
I feel like iTunes did that. After Napster, to be fair.
Sure.
Napster played a role, but it wasn't as a business.
Imagine stepping into a virtual venue to watch an exclusive show with friends, chat with your favorite artist in their own virtual hangout as they drop their new single, and be able to directly buy their exclusive digital and physical merch. With Infinite Reality's expertise in immersive 3D technology, we will transform Napster into a next-generation platform where fans don't just listen on their own, they experience music in entirely new ways. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
God. Golly. I don't even like that at all.
I mean, like, so this does work in some, so Fortnite has done this where they've had concerts in Fortnite, where you can go, like, you know, watch your favorite artist, and it's like, it's a very, like, you feel like you're a part of, like, a community type of thing. I think Spotify's planning on doing stuff like this as well, where, like, you're already part of their fan base, but because you're part of their fan base, you get extra shit because of that. I don't really understand. It feels a little weird to be like, yeah, let me enter a virtual venue. I mean, the Fortnite thing is that, but like, you're in a video game. You know you're in a fucking video game. Like, why am I intentionally stepping into this virtual venue if I'm not already in the virtual world?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I also don't wear a VR headset, so.
The only thing I can imagine is like the Vision Pro like music stuff that they've done.
Yeah.
But this sounds like a bad version of that.
Sure.
Vision Pro is in the Apple.
Yeah.
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 Because they've done like small, like, I forget what they call it, like personal concert things or something like that. And it's awkward a little bit because it's like you're sitting there and the artist is like playing just for you, and it's kind of strange and like you're way too close. But it is a cool, like, it's a cool gimmick.
Yeah.
But you're like, you understand you're not like in the world. You're not buying digital like shirts or whatever.
You
the fuck,
said that.
but
You say you understand that. I think a lot of people they won't understand that.
I think it's even weirder if you're doing this like the way this Napster thing is being done.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's like kind of like from the description it sounded to me, it's more like the Fortnite thing of like, it's a video world kind of, but like kind of a not really. It's like a weird half-assed, like the meta like world thing with the places you don't have hands or whatever the thing is.
I do like the idea of directly buy their exclusive digital and physical merch. So does that mean that there will be digital merch people too? Or does that mean that I'm like, I like this idea of like, you know, you're at a live show and then you have to walk to the back corner where there's like a digital merch, like a meta merch person with no hands handing you
the weird part,
handing you your cosmetic for your meta person to wear the band t-shirt.
That's why that
you
sounds
fucking
bad.
paid for.
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's why that sounds bad. Where the Vision Pro thing is like you're just watching a video that is around you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the big difference.
Yeah.
But also, they did one of those with Metallica, and so I don't know about their musical taste anymore.
Who knows? Whatever. Speaking of Metallica, Megadeth, Dave Mustaine. Yeah, fucking caught it. Dave Mustaine says that new metal guitar players didn't do any solos because they couldn't do any solos.
Can we say what you named this in the group chat?
Dave Mustaine yells at clouds.
I mean, he is an old man.
Yeah,
he is
exactly.
an old man.
So this is something that I find to be really fucking annoying, only because it's just like, dude, shut up. You sound so stupid. So he said there was a period in the 2000s where we had these bands called, I think it was nu metal, and they didn't do any solos. Why didn't they do any solos? They couldn't do solos. Thank God that genre went away. People started to learn how to do solos. And then he continues to say, I would say that if you're in a nu metal band, you probably would be challenged even playing Johnny B. Good. I'm glad it went away, he said.
Dave Mustaine can't play Johnny B. Good. I don't know that for a fact. You
just know it's true.
Yes.
And then the part that really kills me at the very end of this is he basically goes on to say, I like older music because all the good chords were taken. New music can't do anything new anymore, basically, is the shit that he continues to go on and say. All the good chords have been taken. But
was he first to any of those?
No. And that means he doesn't like his music.
So I do want to address really quickly that new metal guitar players can solo. I don't really know. First of all, if you're going to come at like guitar players can't solo, I don't know why you're not coming at grunge.
That's what I was going to say, is that he's still bitter that grunge ruined his career.
Yeah, but then attack that. What are we doing nu metal for?
Yeah.
Well, new metal's been living like rent free in his head for years.
Yeah,
as you can
exactly.
tell by him being like, I don't know what I think it was called new metal.
And he said
I think it was.
And he
bro.
said it's like he's glad it's gone. It's not gone.
No.
It's still like people still listen to the old shit, and there is like rebirth nu metal.
I would venture to say that the number of people at least in America, that like Limp Bizkit is pretty equal to the amount of people that like Megadeth.
Oh yeah, and I would say
more.
And I would
even.
say, okay, so Adam, you don't have to answer this question. I mean, actually, I'd be curious, Steve, you have an answer at all. But who is like could you name any of the best guitar players in nu metal?
Wes Borland.
Okay.
What are we calling nu metal?
Well,
like Korn.
We did an episode on this.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Yes, Korn,
Linkin Park's, or no, maybe not Linkin Park's guitar players.
Do you have an answer for this, Adam? Do you have?
I don't.
I've my first thought was Slipknot.
Yeah,
Mick
yeah.
Thompson.
Great.
Mick
Okay.
Thompson
Great guitar player.
is a fucking crazy soloist. Like his solos are so hard to play. And then we look at Slipknot's other guitar player and Jim Root, and it's like, yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean there's no solos?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's a first of all, if there aren't solos, that doesn't mean it's because they can't. It's because they wrote a fucking song. Like, sorry, not every single nu metal song is as long as a thrash metal song by Metallica or Megadeth being like 5+ minutes. and because you have a song that long, of course you have a solo in it. But on top of that, these guys, you said Wes Borland, yes, that's a great example too. There's plenty of examples of guitar players in nu metal that can solo. And even if that was like that important, which it's not, they can and they choose not to. I feel like that's an even bigger statement than
that says more.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine would be challenged to make a whole record without a guitar solo.
110%.
He would be like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, who is it for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
110%.
Who's going to listen to that?
And
right.
the reality is that like a person like this is just they're just old. Like I hate to be like ageist or whatever about this, but it's like it's just a really weird thing. Like it's a strange, and he even says here about like he praises David Gilmour, and he says he's one of the simplest guys in the world. He could do more with one note than some of these guys nowadays playing with 12. I'm like, pick a lane, bro. Are you're saying that one note's great, but you also are mad that these people can't solo? I don't know what you want. This doesn't work. Your train for guitar is off the fucking rails, dog.
Yeah, it's the same thing that people like that who are out of touch with what's currently happening or what's happened after them say when they're like, oh, kids these days have no manners or whatever. It's like, no, you're just upset that nobody's doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Or you're just upset that the thing that you like died.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
upset that thrash metal is not at the peak that it was, and that the band that you got kicked out of because you're an asshole, like is the biggest rock band, metal band in the world.
Yeah,
you know,
they're still very much thriving.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on to a thing that I'm quite happy about, which is Dua Lipa winning copyright case for Levitating. Now, we've talked about one of these, and I will update us on one of them. And the one that we talked about was way back when this reggae band, do you remember this?
Vaguely.
This reggae band was suing Dua Lipa, I believe, for the same song, for Levitating. And the case was dropped in 2023 after a judge had ruled there was no evidence that Dua Lipa and her co-writers had ever heard the song before, because no one had heard the song before. So this lawsuit, on the other hand, she was being sued by songwriters who accused her of plagiarizing a 1979 disco track, Wiggle and Giggle All Night, and 1980's Don Diablo. The judge ruled that basically all the things they were claiming are copywritten were things used by Mozart and other such people.
Yes. Yes. That's the thing. That's the verdict that we've been wanting ever since we've been talking about these stupid cases.
Uh-huh.
That's so good.
Is a judge going,
until the estate of Mozart comes along. It demands
yeah. And for compensation, we demand 7 pence.
So, and also the really interesting thing both these lawsuits were for the song Levitating. That song is off of an album called Future Nostalgia. There's a lot of people who think they're really smart on TikTok who talk about this album and go, well, this song sounds like this, and this song sounds like this. I'm like, yes. What is the name of the album?
Yeah.
Nostalgia. She did it on purpose. Like, it's not, it wasn't her just stealing music. It was intentionally going, I'm going to take older music, older concepts, and I'm going to make it sound modern, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of it. And yeah, I loved reading the music includes non-copyrightable musical elements that had also previously been used by Mozart.
That's so good.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like between like Dave Mustaine talking about like all the good chords have been taken already or whatever. It's like, dude, that happened with Mozart, with Beethoven, with like all of those composers.
Yeah, like super sorry you didn't like power chords aren't the coolest thing to ever happen. Like that's just all the best chords have been used. Man, you literally use power chords.
Yeah.
Like I don't like. Sorry,
Well, he discovered them, so
he just I guess he was the first.
yeah.
Now, perhaps this is a little bit of a downer or a little bit of a funny thing. It kind of depends on whoever's like whatever side you're on here. So we perhaps discussed this at some point. I think we maybe talked about it on Fun Fridays instead of on the main show. But Linkin Park is on like a year-long tour right now. Their tour is insanely long. Have you seen it? Have you seen how long?
I haven't seen how long it is, but I
is-
knew they had a lot of dates.
It's legitimately, it started at the beginning of this year, sometime in January, and it ends in November of this year. Now, it's not consistent. It's not like every single weekend or some shit, but they have runs that, like parts of it, that are really consistent, right? So this tour is a insanely big, like, just thing in general, thing to go and try and do. And it seems as though perhaps might be too big. And part of that issue, I would honestly think, is because I think when we were looking at this originally, we were like, man, there's a lot of arenas. They're playing a lot of fucking arenas. And I don't know, perhaps I'm wrong. I don't really see them as like, I mean, yes, arena band at some point, but right now, I don't know if they can sell out a bunch of arenas.
Well, apparently not.
I mean, when they had Chester in the band at
Yes.
their peak, they were playing
Yeah.
huge shows.
And they
I would bet they can't get to that point again.
Yes, and considering the fact that on their first like run of shows last year when they started doing it, we saw footage from the Dallas show. It was empty.
It's a Dallas show.
But like
still, I hear what you're saying.
But like,
Yeah.
It was empty and they were all talking.
yeah, they were definitely all talking. I mean, like, you would like Deftones was like huge. Like that show was. I don't know if it was sold out. I know the Austin one. No, it did sell out.
Yeah.
It did. Dallas did sell out for Deftones.
I mean, it has to be a matter of their audiences may be too widespread, right? So
Yeah.
they can't do too many arena shows too closely, but bands typically do that in the US where they play a bunch of, arena shows, even though they'll go to a different country and play just one.
yes.
So that is that's always been a strange thing to me is of, the worldwide tour is we're going to tour the whole world, but we're going to play like 80 dates in the US. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, well.
So they
A little
are
strange,
They,
but-
to be fair, if I remember correctly, are playing a ton of like worldwide dates. They are everywhere for this
Yeah.
tour, which is really cool. Okay, so
Those are probably going better, would be my guess.
yeah,
Yeah, America isn't their biggest country.
yeah,
Well, that and I think they have fans who would travel to go see them.
yeah.
So they could play fewer dates in the U.S. and they'd be fine.
Exactly. So they have a date at Dodger Stadium this September that was scheduled originally for 56,000 capacity, and it has now been scaled down to 18,000 at Intuit Dome, a different venue.
Wow.
Unless Dodger turns into a dome when it's smaller. I don't know. I'm assuming not though.
Transformer Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Probably not.
So
Probably not.
On top of that, they have announced a new discount ticket offer for the entire tour where fans can spend $40 for a randomly assigned seat.
That's a desperate move.
Wow.
Like I think ticket prices should be lower, but there's no way they're going to make money if that's what most people buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
For like a big tour with this much travel and equipment and everything.
Absolutely.
So I wonder if did they say anything about being able to buy two of those tickets and then being assigned together,
Oh, you
but
won't
randomly.
You won't be.
That's insane.
Oh yeah, that's not here. I wonder if that is the case. That would make sense to go. But then that would be really hard to control. That at a certain point, it wouldn't work anymore if you're selling tickets the way you want to. I think.
Yeah,
I think at a certain point that would become very difficult to control. But yeah, so $40 randomly assigned ticket.
That's going to be fun to see all the videos going out of that when people show up. Like when people show up on a Southwest flight and don't know the seats are, sit wherever you want to. And the lady's like walking to the back of the plane for 51C or something.
Yeah, it is in some ways obviously sad, and other ways kind of funny. Oh, another thing, Queens of the Stone Age dropped off that show.
I'm not
that's
surprised.
funny. Queens of Stone-
I'm so surprised they were on the show anyway.
Well, if they were going to play a big arena like that, that might be cool for them in LA. So
yeah.
I could see that being a reason.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
maybe did they miss an LA show on their tour? Maybe because I know they lost a couple dates that dropped.
Maybe, but I mean, like, I imagine I wouldn't be surprised if they were just like, oh, we just don't really want to anymore. It probably had nothing. I don't know.
It's probably a good reason. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine they're like, wow,
we're changing the venue, and it's like, well,
we could just not play.
yeah.
Or they were like, we're booked at that venue a month later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're already
By ourselves.
already have tickets sold. So
exactly.
and we don't have to do this random ticket roulette shit.
Yeah. We actually sold out.
Yeah. Now, this does lead into a thing that I'm hesitant to talk about, which is Bob Ritchie at the White House. Bob Ritchie, aka Kid Rock, and his presence at the White House.
Can I just say, you don't have that photo like pulled up or anything, but for people who haven't seen this, go look up this photo, because I saw this and I thought it was AI generated.
You thought it was Idiocracy the movie?
I thought it was just AI.
It's crazy.
I didn't believe it was real.
No, it is absolutely insane. Now the thing
Especially, what's with the map behind him? Like, it's just a map showing Florida. I don't know how that's relevant. So,
well,
he just go, I need a prop, and like somebody hand him a map.
I'm Canadian. I've got no comment.
on if that's Florida.
Yeah, I don't want to get myself in trouble.
No, that's Florida.
That is Florida.
No. I mean, like, on this whole topic.
Oh, what do you? Oh, I see what you mean.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's super fair. Well, okay. So the thing, obviously, there's a lot of gross things going around. Whatever. Not really the point. The point here is that like, what's his name? Bob Ritchie. That's his fucking name.
Yeah, Bob Ritchie.
Bob Ritchie went in and made really great points at the White House. He
presidential material right there.
Yeah. He talked about the things that we all talked about, and
to be fair, he's been talking about this for years.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a jackass, but he's also right about this.
Yeah. Anyone who's bought a concert ticket in the last decade, maybe 20 years, no matter what your politics are, knows it's a conundrum. You buy a ticket for $100. By the time you check out, it's $170. These bots, they come in, they get all of the good tickets to your favorite shows, and then they relisted it immediately for sometimes 400 or 500% markup, and the artists don't see any of that money. I really don't care about the artist seeing that much. It depends on I don't care about the Kid Rock-sized artist seeing that part of the money.
To be fair, he does.
This should be about the consumer.
To be fair, he does call that out at one point in this whole thing where he's like, I get paid too much money.
Okay, that's good.
And he's
he says right here, I'm a little overpaid right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is a shocking amount of self realization for him.
Yeah, I would rather be a hero to working class people and have them be able to come to attend my shows and give them a fair ticket price. So this discussion, whether or not it truly does lead to anything, because they were talking about it was a bill that was put up, I think, by Obama, right?
Yeah. So there's two bills that were supposed to address this. That one took place and was passed and signed by Obama on the way out, basically in 2016. Then the Trump administration said, we're not going to enforce that law because Obama signed it. So they didn't do it then.
Yes.
The Biden administration wanted their own win, so they got a different law passed instead of just enforcing the existing law, and that also got signed on the way out. And then Trump said, I'm not doing that because Biden signed that. Mm-hmm. So we're back to the same thing of maybe Kid Rock has convinced him to actually enforce the law.
Yeah. The whole time Trump sits there and goes,
they've been there the whole time? That law's been there for 10 years now?
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
So definitely, I will say if they enforce that law, if these things happen and they decide to, stop letting these companies do crazy shit to ticket prices, that'd be fucking cool as shit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be so cool because, man, I bought a ticket to a show that was like $30 and I spent $70. That was so stupid. Like,
yeah, the fee thing is what really gets me. I don't care as much personally about the reseller stuff because it's really, people say it's bots. It's really not. It's people.
Yeah,
that's their whole job, quote unquote.
That's how they make money.
Buying and flipping tickets. It's not bots buying it and then reselling you. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
but like you can't get around that unless you have non-transferable tickets, and that sucks for other people for different reasons. So
awful system. Yeah, I think.
I lean towards it should be non-transferable, but then encourage people to not buy tickets way in advance when they might not be able to make it. But then that's complicated and it's messy.
Yeah.
But the easiest thing to start with, at least, is just advertise the fucking price instead of the here's a $39 ticket, and oh, by the way, when you check out, it's $139.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then you look at the breakdown of why that happened, and it's like convenience fee and like all of these crazy things that literally don't mean anything.
You know what's crazy is I went to a local show and the price of the local show was $15. That was the cover, and I paid like $17.50 to go in because of a convenience fee that somebody who bought the ticket online paid the exact same amount as me, and I was like, so this is all bullshit.
Yeah.
This is all bull. Like,
Well, it was never convenient because it was always they started charging those online as convenience fee that you get to print your own ticket at that point. Not very convenient.
Not at all.
No, either.
It's inconvenient.
But then they started doing that at the box office as a different convenience because you got a physical ticket,
Yeah.
which is like it's all like it's been a racket the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like it's kind of sad. It's infected like local shows too because
It was weird to
they all
see.
use the same ticketing like companies and stuff
Yeah.
that all do the same junk. So
It was very weird to see it on the local level, and obviously it wasn't that much, but it was just like, why?
Still,
Why? Is,
advertise that price.
yeah. Why am I paying a convenience fee to go inside of this local venue? Like, I don't understand. To see local music that I'm already paying $15 to. It's my friends. Like, yeah, I want to give them money and support them, but why is this $15 and now $17?
well, and you're paying money to a company that's not local, not based here, not doing anything nearby. It's probably a Silicon Valley company.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I have a whole thing about if you go to any like public education events, they sell tickets online now, and those are through companies that have contracts with districts to like just profit off of public education,
Wow.
arts and stuff.
That's wild.
And football and sports and all that. It's all just like that's all gross.
Yes.
And then the local scene too is like let's take money out of the local scene.
Well, and that's a bummer in the sense of what was saying earlier of like, and less money into the like for the artists.
Yeah.
That's the time where I care about that. Even at the mid level, I care about that. I care about that. I don't care about it on like I'm glad that Kid Rock had that level of like self-awareness to say like I get paid too much, but I do think that like if it's the mid-level band,
If artists
I care.
at the top aren't being paid enough, they can negotiate for more.
Yeah.
They have leverage
Exactly.
in most cases where
Yeah.
you won't at a mid level.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully something comes from that. because-
Yeah, I hope that would be great.
And Trump talks about Bob a lot, so you know.
I fucking love it.
I
He
enjoy that.
refers to him as Bob the whole time, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you would, because calling him Kid Rock in that kind of setting is kind of silly.
It
but
is well. It's
Look
is
at
it
the
though?
man. Just call him Kid Rock. Like we're all thinking it. Just say
Also,
it.
it's what he
He's
calls
never-
himself.
He's never said his last name. He doesn't know his last name. Because you know he would call him like Bob Rock or something.
Yeah. And Bob Rock sitting
Bob
at home
Music.
like, God damn it, that's
man,
me.
somehow this is worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this feels adjacent, and I feel like I wanted to save it for one of our last things, and that is I'm gonna read this headline. Loser Morgan Wallen walks off SNL, stages credit rolls, seemingly skips after party. Now, everybody saw this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody saw. Did you? Okay, so I'm not a big SNL guy.
I didn't watch his performances, to be fair. Or to be
Cool.
clear.
I'm glad about that.
I usually skip most of the music ones anyway.
Sure.
I'll give them a shot, but they usually sound so bad because
Right.
SNL's audio production is bad.
So at the end of SNL, there's always like the hey and thanks for everybody. There's the big thanks,
the
the
good
big
nights.
bows, the good
Yeah.
nights, everything. And for those who haven't seen it, Morgan Wallen just walked straight down, just said "fuck it, I'm gone," and just left. And whispered something to who was the co-host with him? Who was the what's her name? She was in Anora,
yeah.
right?
Mikey Madison?
Mikey Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So whispered something to her and then just dipped the fuck out.
He's apparently said something along the lines of "at least I don't have to stay" or something like that, and then he left.
So are we under the? It's
Because she was going to hang out and like have fun because she just hosted SNL for the first time. That's
Yeah.
probably a fun experience. He's played there before.
Okay. Now,
Don't know what he did last time. I forgot entirely, but
Now he walks away, he leaves, and then proceeds to post on his Instagram. You saw this.
Mm-hmm.
Post on his Instagram a picture of the jet he's getting on and says, "Get me to God's country."
Can we sidebar for a second? I've only ever heard maybe two other people say God's country, and it was in Canada, referring to the place that I'm from in Canada, saying like this is God's country.
Yeah,
It didn't sound like that, but like
What did they sound like?
this is God's country.
Okay, yeah.
Is that not bad?
Yeah, that's good.
That's very
Yeah,
good.
I'm going to assume so. I don't know.
Okay,
so.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
We'll
from
let
there.
my brother in the chat. So I wondered to myself, what does he mean by God's country?
Sure.
So I looked it up. There's no real meaning for it.
Sure.
no,
but
it's
it's
a shitty way to say that It's not the city.
It's
Yeah,
it's a
get me out of
shitty-
the city.
It's get me out of the city and get me out of like New York specific. Like
Yeah.
get me into like get me back to the South. Get me back
Yeah.
to where
But
like
get me out of
That's
the
the
city.
assumption, right?
Get me
It's
out of
get
the
back to
city, but
Nashville.
specifically to another city called
Yeah.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And Ian already said it in the chat, but this is the other funny thing is that Morgan Wallen refused to do one of the sketches and that Joe Jonas did it and said, I didn't know about this. I'm, again, not a big SNL
It
watcher.
turned out better for it.
Well, I'm sure it did. And then I was reading comments about this. People were like, yeah, I was watching. And I was like, why the fuck is Joe Jonas there? I'm like, that would be so fucking
Yeah.
funny to just be like, jump scare. Joe Jonas is here. What the fuck?
That's pretty much what happened, honestly. It's because he lives in New York, and they were just like, we need somebody else who's a musician. You want to come by?
He's on Broadway right now.
Well, he's friends with them and all that. So yeah,
Unless that's the other Jonas. I keep getting it mixed
Well,
up.
you know.
I'm pretty sure it's Joe Jonas.
everybody's on Broadway right now. Bill Burr's on Broadway.
I love that.
Let's see. Am I right? Am I right? It's Nick Jonas. Fuck, Nick Jonas is on Broadway.
Close enough.
Well, I wanted to make sure I was
He
right
was
before
there
I.
supporting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I was right before I shit on it because Nick Jonas is getting absolutely demolished by all the Broadway heads.
really?
about it. Yeah, he's not doing good.
Is he the one who did the bad guitar solo?
Maybe,
Wow.
but he's a good. They're all good. They're all good
Yeah.
singers, right?
Yes.
And so he's on Broadway for this production, and he's doing like not a great job, and people are like really fucking railing him for it, and it's kind of unfortunate, but it's also like, man. I really hope that they paid you enough money for this, which they did. I mean, he wouldn't. There's no way he would do it without.
Lupe confirmed it is the one that did the bad guitar solo.
Thank you.
No. That sucks. That sucks for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So anyway, the final piece to this is not necessarily that he walked off, but I do want to talk about.
Well, walking off directly in the camera
Yeah,
is a dick move. And he did it in rehearsal too, which is like, I'm surprised they let him perform then and they didn't like fly Jack White in or something.
What do you mean he did?
He walked off during rehearsal?
Yeah.
Wow.
The same way to the same like camera thing.
What the fuck?
So he was rehearsing.
He rehearsed doing that.
He rehearsed being a
and
loser.
they let him do it.
Crazy.
Well,
Granted, the cast was like way far back behind him. You saw in the video,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not usually that far back.
Now, I do want to bring up something. I believe Morgan Wallen's album comes out this week. If it's not already out, but I believe it comes out this week.
Okay, marketing stunt.
Yeah. Now, I don't care about a lot of these stats I'm about to read to you in the sense of I don't find them to be that offensive. But I read them to you, and I want you to think about the people that would be upset about this. Okay? Morgan Wallen's new album will feature 37 songs, 189.3 co-writers, 5 instances of rhyming luck with truck, 19 pre-programmed beats, 75 drinking references, and buttloads of averageness. I haven't fact-checked this, but
It sounds. I mean, from what
almost-
I know, that sounds correct.
almost 200 co-writers. Now, I seem to recall people being so butthurt that Beyonce's country album had a lot of different co-writers on it. Are we not people? Can we all come together at once and go, Morgan Wallen, don't do that? Or can we all say it's okay if we all do that? Like I hope that one of those things can happen. Neither won't. It won't happen.
It's not going to happen.
But
You're asking too much.
That won't happen at all.
200, almost to 189.
And how many songs?
37.
So it's like 3, 4, 5 people per song.
Oh, that adds up.
And 5 instances of rhyming
Also,
luck with
37
truck.
songs though.
I mean, like,
Did he miss the memo that the Spotify CEO said you're supposed to release singles, and not albums?
and I mean, like, the fact that it's like 19 pre-programmed beats. What are we talking about? I just don't understand. So anyway, what is Lupe saying? Have you all checked out the SN? I haven't seen much of it. No, the
Yeah, I
SNL
have.
50th. I haven't watched much.
Whatever.
I guess Kanye did something similar at one point.
Oh, sure.
I'm sure he loves that comparison.
I'm sure he does.
No, I'm sure he
That's
actually does. He
very
probably
true.
thinks that's great.
Yes. Okay, wait. I just want to fact check this a little. Okay, so the album comes out in May. Let's see. If I can find any. So there's nothing on their Wikipedia yet of all the personnel. So I'm very curious to see if that will end up
We'll
being
have to
correct.
go look at that.
We'll circle back on this because I'm so curious to find out if that's real. Because if so, I think we can all come together.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Leave
We
Beyonce
won't.
alone.
Yeah. Who cares?
Or you have to make fun of Morgan Wallen too.
Yeah. I'm not one to care that albums have a lot of writers on it.
No, me
Albums have a
neither.
lot of people on it. That doesn't affect me in any sort of way outside of the fact that
It is a shockingly high number, though.
Well,
That's
with
a lot.
37 songs, like you said,
Right.
4 or 5 writers per song.
Yeah.
In the Nashville world, that's not uncommon at
That's
all.
fair. That's fair.
yeah,
I feel like you should pick like maybe 50 of them to work with for the whole album, though.
sure.
Yeah.
If you're doing an album, maybe it's not really an album; it's just a collection of stuff to.
Yeah, at this point,
release,
at this
but-
point, we will find out if that's right later.
Well, we'd have to listen to it.
Well, we can look at the personnel whenever it comes
Okay,
out.
okay.
I'm not gonna fucking.
I don't
listen.
want the recommendations for even like searching for that,
I'm not listening to 37 Morgan Wallen songs. Okay.
Yeah.
And the
even if they're just about trucks.
well, that is
and
pretty.
luck.
That is pretty impressive. The name of his album is pretty telling as well. I just closed it. The name.
God's country.
No, it's I'm the Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Taylor already did it.
Taylor did it better. Get shit on.
Yeah, get off Taylor Swift's coattails, bro.
Now, before we started, Adam, you added this to the
I
to the
did.
notes.
I added breaking news. This
Wow,
happened like
dude.
2 hours
Hold
ago.
on, wait. I have it somewhere.
You
Hold
have
on.
breaking news.
In one of the many pages of sound effects
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have.
It's the other green. It's that
That's
green.
the other green one.
It's the one that's kind of teal.
Hold on. I don't know where it is. That's not it.
Take your time, man.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Hold on.
breaking news.
What do you got somewhere to be? Is this it? Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Breaking news.
What's the breaking news? Hit us with it.
So I'll start with the headline. The White Lotus composer quits over creative differences and tensions with the show creator, Mike White. So I don't know if y'all watch White Lotus, but the music is
More at 7.
kind of I don't know, creepy, like atmospheric kind of
So,
stuff.
so this is this season 2 that just came out?
Season
3.
Season 3?
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons had the same theme song.
No.
No, they did not.
They had very similar theme songs, but people have been what you're referring to. People have been freaking out because it sounds very different.
Very different.
Well, he wanted to release a longer cut of the theme song to include that. I guess the show creator overrode him. So he's mad about that, and then the audience backlash is bad, and so he's like, "Look, I told
Very
you,"
bad.
and went to HBO apparently, and they tried to override it, and they said, "No, we backed the guy who made the show. It's his show, whatever." So he released on YouTube. I didn't know this 2 weeks ago. The extended version that has the part everybody
Yeah.
thinks of when they hear White Lotus.
Yeah, the cool mouth sounds.
So that's why he's in trouble, and he quit. And now he uploaded, apparently a couple days ago, a version that says Season 4 Dumb American version, which has like a remix of just that sound over and over and over in the Billie Eilish's I'm the bad guy. Just loops for 8 hours. This guy had a lot of free time to put all this together, I think, and he's very mad about this. I just thought this was funny. A friend of mine sent this to me, and this is just like, this feels like drama that nobody should be a part of. This is between you two, and you're making it a thing.
Yes.
It's very strange for this to happen, but everybody was really mad about it. Maybe he was right.
And he's the composer.
Yeah.
Who should have probably final say on music for the show, for the titles at least.
Yeah.
That kind of feels like that should be a thing you get to decide if you're the composer, but
I do think that it's interesting. So I think that is drama that people want to know about, but this is not the answer that people wanted. I don't. I think that this is like it is because like I mean I did get this a lot of my TikTok people being mad about this, and I scrolled past. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. But I did see it a lot of people like being really fucking mad about this.
But I mean, can you imagine if like 3 seasons of Breaking Bad had the Breaking Bad theme, and then the 4th season it was Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, or something like that? You'd be like, what the fuck? What are we doing here?
that would have been impressive for the time.
So they did this.
I mean, it is an anthology show, so it's supposed to change a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was a through line between the first and second seasons.
yeah.
And people expected it for sure.
They've done this on a couple shows I've watched where they've changed the theme, and I was like, oh, that was weird. And then
And then you get mad and post about it, right?
Well, it was so specifically I can think of it happening in Scrubs, and they changed it, and then people got really mad, and they didn't even they extended the theme song. It was the same song, they extended it, and they changed the visuals, and people got really mad, and they just put it back to where it was, and I was like, who cares? I don't know. I want to watch my show. Can we? But I was past. I had missed the point of everyone being mad about it, so they changed it back. I was like, "What was the?" Like, I from my perspective was like, "What was the point of changing it to that one thing?" And then learning later that people got mad about it. Okay, fine, get mad about it. But I'm like, I understand with White Lotus a little more than Scrubs. It's like it's a much more like, I would say, for lack of a better term, artsy show.
Definitely is.
And so I understand people carrying more of like that kind of a through line through something, right? You have like the music that continues, even though it is is anthological a word?
Sure, yeah.
It is anthological.
It is now.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, you have that through line and that kind of, I would.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if y'all watch the show at all, but there's not supposed to be much of a connection between the seasons. There are some connections, but the music is definitely one of them that's supposed to be prominent because it sets the tone for like an eerie thing. You know what's going to happen on the first episode, and then you get to how it happens.
And it's such iconic music. It's such a huge part of the popularity of the show.
For that first season, that came out in the height of COVID.
Yeah,
because the origins of this show were like HBO's CEO calling Mike White and being like, "Hey, can you get me a show that I can like film on an island, like somewhere where we can just put everybody and like do a thing?" That's why that first whole season just takes place in the same like resort, and it feels kind of weird. Because like you go to the same dinner, plays every night. Are you on an island if that's the only building? Probably not. But it works, you know, for that. And I think people latched on to that first season. They kept it for the second one, and then now they kind of set expectations that they had to have it again. And turns out the composer was probably right.
Yeah,
and a little petty posting about it on YouTube, and I don't know. I thought that was some fun, fun pettiness.
Love the pettiness. Love the drama.
It's going to be a shame that he's not on season 4 because it'll feel real weird now. So
hey, you know.
They'll just drop that vocal thing entirely, and everybody will be mad.
But if they bring him back for season 4, then that would be more drama. That would be, I think that would be peak.
Especially if he's right and he does the dumb American version, as he called it, for season 4.
That would actually be peak. That would be so good for Mike White to go, use that, come back,
and do that.
Use that.
Now the intro credits are an hour long.
Yeah, the season 4 is literally just the loop. That's all it is. That'd be pretty great.
I mean, the finale is 90 minutes, so maybe there's some truth to that.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy. All right, what's everybody been listening to? I'll go, because it's been a while. But I mean, no, I've got quite a few things to mention, but I will only mention 2 of them, which is "Forever Is a Feeling" by Lucy Dacus. I don't know.
I think Dacus.
I think Dacus. Yeah. It's incredible. This is a slight rant that perhaps will I will sound like old man yelling at the clouds for this, and that is Pitchfork is stupid. They gave this like a 6.1 or something, and I don't know what they want. I went and listened to an album they reviewed in the same day. They gave like an 8, and I was like, I can't with this. I can't with this shit.
Well,
I don't know what they want.
She's too popular now.
They said that it seemed like it was like it was trying to find itself, and it wasn't sure of itself. I'm like, I feel like this album's pretty sure of itself. Yeah. I feel like also the lyrical content is like it's a through line. It's really good. I really like the album a lot. I said it on Fun Fridays. I'm here for it. Redemption Story of the Year, Mumford & Sons. Rushmere is the name of the album, I guess. Great album.
Are they good again?
I like it a lot. I think it's incredible.
I don't think they ever got bad. I
do.
They got repetitive and stuck in their own trying to recapture that first album that got them popular.
The problem is that Babel, Sigh No More, those 2 albums were like, yeah, we're doing these albums twice basically, and I liked both of them. The Wilder Mind, the one that was like
that's my favorite Mumford & Sons record.
It's a good album, but it was when they added the electric guitar.
They went electric,
right? They added drum set. Delta was fucking put it in the trash. I don't want to hear that album. I think it's a bad album, and I'm
looking at this and I never listened to it.
I don't think if you should listen to the third one. My favorite is not any of these. My favorite is Babel. I think their second album, Babel, whatever. Okay. I think that is my favorite one.
That's the one I remember where it was like it was very similar to Sigh No More, and I was kind of like, if this is all they're gonna do, that's cool. I don't need to hear more. I'm not gonna like shit on it like former host of the show. But like, I don't need more of that if that's what they're doing. And then they went electric, and I was like, that's cool. I still didn't go check it out though. I don't think. But I'll go listen to both of those now.
You should listen to the one they put out this year
and
last
that
week.
One. Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, those are my 2 big ones. Go check them out.
I've got May Earl-Wine's "What It Takes."
Woo!
That record is. I've just been playing it nonstop. It's really good.
It's a fucking hit.
It's so good.
God, it's such a good
album. And they recorded it all like at once, right?
All at once.
One take.
Not one. I don't know if it's one take, but each take is like a performance.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's Theo Katzman's label, so
Okay, cool.
and it's recorded in his
Like the new
studio.
Wolfpack album was like that.
Yeah, but that one was like a live show. The like
Okay.
this one is like so in Theo's.
I didn't know if it actually was a live show or just mixed to sound like it.
I think
Because
it was-
sometimes that audience sound feels like it goes away.
I need to finish. I haven't read the whole AMA, but the producer did like an AMA about this, and it was I believe it was 2 nights at like 2 live shows, and it was 2 nights, and they took from that and made the record. But for Theo's record label, there's a studio called Cinnamon Something Ranch. So that's his studio, and everyone just sits in a room and tracks. It's great.
Yeah, cool. It's the label's 10 good songs.
Yeah, and the whole premise is you're not supposed like he started with like no headphones, just play. They wear headphones, but like it is all just in this room playing. It's great. It's so good. So yeah, great record.
Cool. I had listened to Clipping's new album that
Oh right,
I got into them when, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years ago,
5,
probably
6,
5, 6. I
7,
don't know. Whatever.
yeah.
Sometime on the podcast previously.
You guys remember?
They haven't had a new album in a while since then, which would have been 2020. So it's
Yeah.
been 5 years. And they have a new album called Dead Channel Sky. And I would say don't listen to this on headphones because it's a little jarring and a little like not upsetting, but there's sounds that you're like, I don't need to hear that in a headphone. But it's good. It's good. I enjoyed it. If you like their stuff,
Yeah.
go check it out.
Cool. I actually meant to listen to that, so that's a good one to hear. Cool. Because I think we listened to one song on Fun Fridays. Yeah. That's all right. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, please follow, subscribe, whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this. If you're on YouTube or Twitch right now, please follow, subscribe, press those buttons. They're free. They help us out a ton. If you're on social media, you can find us, DFTA Podcast, on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artists, on TikTok for, I guess, a couple more days until it gets saved
Is that
again.
happening again?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it's Saturday. Saturday's the last day.
Is that why I saw that Amazon was going to buy it?
Sure, I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
Who knows?
Twitch, TikTok, put it all together.
Twitch is trying. to do. It's not working. Well,
Well,
for them.
that's one way to solve it, though. You just buy it.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to say hi to us, if you have any thoughts about anything we talked about today, please email us, feedback@don'tfortheartist.com. You can also drop a DM in any of those social medias that was mentioned. Go hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/don'tfeedtheartists. There's tons of stuff that I guarantee you haven't seen. If all things go as the way I think they will, we'll be doing Fun Fridays on Friday.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of a toss up. But as I think that should be happening. And I think that's everything. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Awesome. It's the green one, right?
Maybe.
I'm about to say. Is it this green one? Elephants. Not that one. Is it this one?
That's it.
Bye.
plastic.